You know, the internet is a magical fucking place. I'll tell you. And Dean Esme is just plutonium levels of mad. Like, he is just angry. And the weird thing is, after the first debate stream I did with him, like, he makes a lot of accusations throughout the multiple streams that he's done. He said that I was paid to come after him. I was hired to come after him, which is weird because like the initial contact between us was him getting contact with me. Then he says it was an ambush. It was meant to be a private conversation, but it wasn't. It was clearly set up as a Metocast. I called it a fucking Metocast. When he came on at the very beginning of the call, I said, "Hey, we're live now, so you know, blah blah blah. Introduce yourself." He knew this going into it. It's all bullshit, obfuscation, and lies, and slander. This man is slandering me.
Well, look, he wants the rules of the Kumite. Can we lay down some rules?
He can set the fucking rules. I am so looking forward to this. He can bring every fucking gay tiger he wants with him. He can set the rules down. I will show up with fucking bells on.
Siegfried and Roy can both come. Who gives a fuck?
That's right. It will call it a Las Vegas Spectacular. You know, I don't really give two flying fucks. Dean can bring as many gay furries as he wants to. He could bring the whole MRA army. I don't give two flying fucks. I will make him look like a bitch again in front of a live audience. The last time this happened, he converted religions, changed his name, and went on Twitter tirades. I'm afraid he might actually shoot himself this time.
I didn't think
what?
you were serious about that last time. I checked. Now I remember who you were talking about. I checked after. You weren't bullshitting. He changed his fucking religion after you talked.
This man
put
had
the
a mental
fear of
breakdown.
God in him.
Yes,
the
I
fear
did.
of a Muslim God in him.
He believes in God now after our conversation.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, he changed my name to a fucking noun. Like, now Metokur means something. He wants it to be typical mouth-breathing skeptic. I'm a skeptic, by the way. Skeptic goon. So a skeptic from Something Awful, which is weird because Something Awful fucking hates skeptics.
Isn't that like slow beef and like?
That's just SA. They don't. I don't. It's so weird when you interact with all these different groups because they all hate each other, but they don't know who gets along with who, so they just throw out random shit.
Oh god.
But God, he is so fucking mad. Like, he is so goddamn mad.
He sounds really fucking mad.
If if this is the live stream you're showing and not just clips of it, I can give you some timestamps for some shit here. Let me pull this up because if you look in the comments, somebody was timestamping some of the funnier things. He barks like a sea lion. If you want to hear that.
What?
Yeah.
Go to 650. Go to 650, and he'll start barking like a sea lion.
Oh god.
650.
Yeah, just start it at like 640. There you go. Yeah, 645. Yeah, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
That don't mean anything, because really, most of you, at least the ones who follow Jim around and do what he says, like barking seals.
Oh no.
That's.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Ugh.
Oh, and if you go to 1955, he talks about his Washington connections and how the CIA is going to come fuck anybody up who dares to talk to Dean badly.
Tiny penis. That's how my ex is. And by the way, I'll also mention again in how unscarable we are. I got friends in high places. No money, but I got friends in high places and a lot of people who owe me a lot of favors in Washington, people who work at three-letter agencies, people who work in corporations, white hats. I got friends in law enforcement up and down the place, and I even know my local cops.
You better be careful. He knows people from the FAG.
Oh shit! You know, I'm running. Yeah, those FAGs are some dangerous ones. I'm running from. He knows some white hats. Of course, those white hats are actually white fedoras, so it's not really the same thing we're all thinking of. But I like how they always jump back into it. I'm gonna fight you in real life. I'm gonna kill you, or I'm gonna hack you. It's no different than Ross. It's every single time you encounter autistic retards on the internet, it always devolves into, I'm going to kill you or I'm going to hack you. That's their two fallback positions. Like, he's talking, these two guys, and I don't have the exact time code for when his friend starts talking about all the super serious rounds I've got. I'll just shoot the shit out of you. But going on about I fire guns because they're scary, and I can fire single round burst. I'm so good at this. Really hard to be threatened by a guy with a lisp. A tiger smoking a pipe with glass doesn't really instill terror into me. Maybe I'm just old-fashioned. I don't know.
You sure?
Understand tough. I'll tell
here
you
we go.
tough.
Oh, here we go.
Tough is when you can actually you can have an M249 squad assault weapon on your.
Bro.
Yes, I'm talking about one of those. I carried those when I was in Afghanistan. I got so good with it, I was able to do single shots with it. It's an automatic weapon, by the way. Single shots with it. That's very hard to do.
Oh my god.
And then also, there's another thing that most people don't like him doesn't realize. Break into a house in the South. You don't know who's going to carry what. And one of the favorite rounds in my area that is coming up is what they call the RIP round.
Rest in
You
pieces.
do not want to be in my area breaking into houses the way your little
Can you pause it for a second?
mouth goes. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be a little tough guy.
Pause it for a second. What is this breaking into houses shit? They've talked themselves up. They've made me such a boogeyman. They think that I'm running like a fucking PMC. Like I've got my own private mercenary army that's coming for them.
It's like
we're
a
gonna break
fucking
down their
80s
door.
movie gang. Bandanas and fucking denim vests.
Well, it's the craziest thing. You know, there was this anti-vaxxer who said the same thing. I convinced him that I had a gang of people that would break into people's houses and vaccinate their children while I slept.
How do you convince people of this shit? You don't even do anything.
Well, it was this one guy who was convinced you could cure autism by flushing a kid's ass with bleach. So he was kind of fucking far gone to begin with, but I was like, yeah, you know, and then I started telling him, I'm gonna break into your house and I'm gonna vaccinate your children for rubella. And he got so scared. He got so mad. You can't stop it. We're gonna vax them all.
Vax them? What the fuck?
He said you're gonna break into his house and vaccinate.
Vax the shit out of you.
Vaccinate. What a threat.
He was really he was a very very ardent anti-vaxxer, and that was like his nightmare scenario. Was some guy from the internet vaccinating his children.
You can't do that. Dude. That's not okay, Billy. You can't threaten to vaccinate children.
Oh, just call me Mr. Mercury, because that's what we keep in the vaccines when I'm coming for your kids.
I got people saying that this guy is full of shit about the single fire on an automatic fucking thing.
What, you mean the
hold on a
chaotic
second.
furry
Jim
MRA
is-
is lying? What?
Jim is pausing baby holes. Hold on.
I like to imagine that he had like some nightmare scenario in his head where we're like dressed in all black doing commando style raids into their house. You know, flashbangs blowing up in the doorway as we fucking run with needles at their babies. You can't stop it, motherfucker. We're vaccinating everybody. I'm gonna double vax them just to fuck you.
Better hide your baby.
He's getting triple dosed. Fuck you.
Better hide your baby.
Oh. Just leave empty syringes outside their house.
Oh, you know the other funny thing, Taka, is Dean Esme and this group of people they fucking hate the honey badgers. That's initially what they did. After the money badger stream I did with you, they did a whole stream talking about like all the shady shit Allison and the others have been engaged in. He's talking like how the honey badgers are into like voodoo and shit.
Voodoo?
Just really
Wait,
weird.
what?
Yeah, he talks about how she's into like witchcraft and how he started the honey badgers and they stole it from him.
Oh, no.
So there's no love loss between these two groups. So I've got MRAs on every side yelling at me, which is amazing.
But why is voodoo involved? Why is this here? Why does it
don't-
always
it's
get
like-
here?
It's like voodoo or Wiccan magic. I don't fucking know, man.
Wizards last fucking time.
Weather wizards. God, I can't even say it. Yeah, it's some really bizarre shit. The internet is inhabited by some really
It's
fucking
full of
strange-
fucking X-Men, man. What the fuck?
Andy, do you want to go with me on my next vaccine run? We got a whole bunch of kids that need our help.
I'll help
Gotta
you.
save the kids.
I wanna go. Oh, I wanna vax some kids.
Now you got to remember to bring spray paint with you because we have to write a giant V for vaccinated on their wall so
V
they know
for
what
vaccinated.
left.
Oh, we have to have like a marking. Yeah, that's good. That's good. You've been
Yeah,
bad.
just so the parents can see it, like a horror movie. They walk
So-
into the room and the mother screams as she sees the V for vaccine on the wall. Says her child is perfectly healthy, normal.
Yeah, there's just cotton and tape on the kid's arm.
Was the
from the
story for
needle.
real that we're all like roaming bandits in the night,
Oh,
fucking vaccinating babies? Is that
I was just breaking into people's houses, vaxing them up.
yo, someone has to make that an animation.
roaming fucking bandits?
Yeah, I mean, Tonka, you need to understand, like that Patreon money I get, I'm like the vaccinating Batman, right? I use that money to go out and do good and to vaccinate the
you got
children.
little needles in your utility belt.
That's right. It's nothing but measles, mumps, rubella, just anything you can think of.
And lollipops. And lollipops.
You could have given him a
leave
lollipop right after with the little loop on the bottom.
Here's a lollipop, kiddo. You're immune now.
I'll keep it. I'll take it.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, you know the other weird thing too is the guy that was anti-vaxxer, the one that I told I had commando squads vaccinating people. He didn't just, like he got angry at me because I was making fun of somebody bleaching kids' asses for autism, and he was like, "That's not weird." And then he went after me when I did the Ross video. It's really weird. A lot of people popping out of the woodwork from a lot of communities getting upset with, exposing a guy that wants to molest children. Really, really makes you think.
Hold on, I started. I hate that. But what is all this fucking kickback on the video about the kid who likes to look at kids? What's that about?
I don't know. That's what got Random Cam going off on a tirade was the Ross video. That's what got the Bleach guy going off on a tirade about the video.
You
It's
went
really
off
weird.
on so much shit. This
Yeah.
is the one. This is the one that gets pulled down all the time. This is the one that is the big deal.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I really don't know what to tell you. Yeah, the anti-vaxxer lost his mind. It was really weird. He's like, "Oh, you're just trying to moralize and tell people how to raise their children." I'm like, "It's like, nigga, are you serious? I'm telling you not to molest children. That has nothing to do with raising them.
Go watch
Don't
kids
fuck other
bathing,
people's kids."
jerking off to it. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah,
I
know,
would like
it's
for you to
weird
not
fucking
fuck
people.
kids. This seems like a reasonable expectation.
Seems like a pretty solid request. Nothing too far out there.
You guys are assholes.
Don't
Let the people let the people fuck kids. Why not?
Yeah.
Holy shit! But yeah, if you can set up because if you listen to the Esme stream, straight up he says he wants to come on the Kumite. Him and his buddies want to come on the Kumite. They're begging for it. They're asking for it.
Oh, amazing.
Well, it's
Well,
on. It's
the
on
Billy
Monday
Billy.
through Friday.